Is it time to reveal your real magic and become seen, known, and valued? So today we're talking about inviting other people into your world. So it's lovely to be inviting you into my world today. Hello, if we haven't met before, I'm Rionach, and I am a deep dive visibility mindset mentor, and I love to offer deep transformation to support visionary leaders like you to share your wisdom and create the impact that you came here to create in the world. Hi, Caroline. Lovely to have you here today as well. So last week we were speaking in the group in our visionary visibility for visionary leaders group about finding your own voice. And one of the key insights that came from that I got feedback on that was really valuable was this idea of inviting people into your world rather than disappearing into theirs. And this is a key one because many of us visionaries are so sensitive and felt that we didn't fit in, that we didn't belong in the world when we were younger. So often what we did is we learned how to intuit what other people wanted from us and shape shift into that, to become a chameleon, to be brilliant at feeling what's going on with others and fitting into their world. It's a great gift to have. Often people who struggle with visibility are very connected to the invisible world, are very good at seeing other people. But what we need to learn is how to see ourselves and how to become visible to ourselves and then share that deep self with others, because that's the visionary. That's the visionary voice that's been hiding. So I'd love to hear your experience around this. So put in the comments for me below, what do you resonate with in this, disappearing into others' worlds, or, does it feel easy for you to invite other people into your world? So, and what I'm going to be, because it can feel very exposing, and I'll share a bit about my experience about this. Or sometimes we just don't know how to do it. We're just kind of going, well, I'll keep showing up, but I'm not really sure whether or how to do it effectively. So I'm going to be talking about all of those things today. The common mistake that we get caught up in around this, and how to know where you are with that and how to shift it. And then I'm going to guide you through a deep process to get connected to your inner world and create more security and also more openness there, because what you want to have is an inner world that feels very safe and secure, but is also open to and inviting to let people in, because sometimes we can have one or the other. It's kind of like I'm inviting people in, but I'm not really connected to my inner world, or my inner world is a bit, it's a bit of a fortress. That can also happen. And then I'm going to end by talking about a strategy that you can use. How do you share your inner world? So I'm going to share one of my strategies, and I'm actually going to touch on it today and then do a whole session on that next week. So Mary Jose is saying, yes, the chameleon, and Caroline also, I recognize the chameleon in me. Hi, Leontine, lovely to have you here as well. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And hi, John, lovely to have you here as well. Great to see you. So let's get started. So the first step with this is the common mistake that we make is we focus on what others want from us. We focus on what can I give. And I know, I was brilliant at this for years and created a lot of success. John knew me as a CEO. It's lovely to have him here today. He was a support for me when I was in my CEO days. And I was very focused on giving, supporting others, and doing what I thought everyone wanted from me. And the foundation for this, and this is particularly true of women, and it's particularly true for heart-centered conscious men as well, is we focus all our energy and our attention on the others. And so, and if you think about where your energy is, it's all out there on the other people that you're wanting to help. And it's kind of, you're in giving. How can I help? What can I do? Very heart-centered. But then, we're not necessarily connected to ourselves, to our deep selves, and to our own wisdom at that time. So, and we can get caught up in the perfectionism, and I have to do more and more and more. And our world is kind of structured to do this as well. So Rickert is saying, yeah, I recognize this so much, being the chameleon, getting caught up in the world of others, not connecting with my inner world, and actually losing myself. Beautifully named, Rickert. That's exactly what's going on. So I'd love to, and then this is less common, but what can also happen is we can flip the other way. We can go into self-expression, where I'm just going to, express my creativity and express, what I want to say, but I'm not necessarily connected to what others need from me. So again, I'm not really feeling seen or visible because I'm expressing and putting out a lot of creative input, but I'm not actually inviting people to connect with me in my world. So it's a trick there. So one of the things I would love you to do, just to experience for a moment, is just take a moment to breathe your awareness deeper into your body. If you're somewhere it's safe to do so, you might want to close your eyes, but just breathe your awareness deep into your heart and down into your belly and down into your hips. And just really become aware of your inner world here. And breathe your energy deep inside your skin and inside your body, and really feel that. You might want to put a hand on your belly, and you can really pull your energy fully inside yourself and feel yourself. So just, when you really feel that, just notice how it feels. I know what I'm feeling in my body is that I've suddenly gotten warmer, and I feel heavier. I feel more grounded. I feel more here, just as I connect my energy more deeply inside myself. And so now I want you to experiment with put all your energy from where it's been, put all your energy onto me. So put all your energy outside yourself and focus all of your attention and your awareness on me as you're listening to me here. And just notice, how does this feel? And I'll do this with you as well. How does this feel when you shift all your energy from inside yourself to outside yourself? And what I notice is, I feel a little bit less stable. I feel a little bit more, in my head and in my heart. I can feel that too, but not so deeply connected to my deeper roots in my body. So just noticing. This can feel good. Having our attention on other people, it can feel good, but just bringing it back, just pulling it back inside yourself now. And feel yourself coming back, putting your hand on your belly, feel your energy fully coming back deeply inside your own energy. Whew. And notice, how does that feel to come back into your own deep energy field? So great. So the next step in this, and we're going through it very quickly today, but the next step in this is to expand your energy out a little bit into the room where you are. Just feel your energy is deeply connected inside yourself. And then feel that you're expanding out a little bit around into your own energy field and connecting to a greater field that's surrounding you. And sense that your greater energy field is connected to mine. and to everybody who is watching this live, to everybody who is listening to this recording, just feel that bigger energy field here. And then let your awareness flow from inside yourself to inside me and into the group and back again, like a loop. This is a loop of awareness. And just in your own time, just notice being connected to yourself, being connected to me, to others, and back in to yourself. In your own rhythm, you can go fast or slow, and just notice how this feels. To be in this field of connection with yourself and with others at the same time. So this is a great practice when you're with people or when you're doing stuff for people, just to notice where your energy is. So I'd love to share your experience of how that was for you as well. And hi, Penelope, lovely to have you here. Penelope said, interesting to observe that flip from one extreme to the other. Yeah, that resonates, great. And Rickert is saying, it's more easy to connect with you than with myself. When I come back to myself, I feel grounded. That's really normal and a great observation, Rickert, that it's more easy to connect with someone else than with ourselves, because that's what we're habitually taught to do. And then coming back to ourselves, feeling more grounded. Yes. Susan was saying powerful, immediately feel the energy flow throughout the whole group. So beautiful. So you're getting an experience of this. Gorgeous. So the next thing to go even more deeply into this, in inviting people into your own world, is to create a secure and welcoming inner world that you can invite people into. So what, is your sense, and we'll do an experience of this shortly. What's your inner world like? Is it like Fort Knox? Is it well defended? Is it kind of cramped? And is it like you're hiding in a closet? Or is it open and welcoming? Is there a space, for other people to come in and see what it is that you want them to see? Because there has to be a stable foundation here for energetically inviting people into your world in a way that feels safe and secure, and a way that feels very authentic to you, because this is the energetic foundation, and no amount of marketing strategies and visibility work and websites and Facebook pages will actually work if you don't have this foundation in place. Especially if you're doing transformative work with others, you need to have this security. So, and I'll just share my, John is saying, my inner world is often a bit noisy. Yes. So, we're going to be, deepening into that now, John, and finding that calm part of you as well, because we all have both. We've got noise up here, and then we can access calm as well. Great. So my story around this, when I 3 years ago, when I was shifting from being a CEO into being a coach, and I was doing the coaching on the side and still working as a CEO, I noticed that I was really struggling to have conversations with people about charging for my work. And I thought, I wonder what's going on there. Money stuff is great, and money stuff and visibility stuff, they often go together. So I explored this, and what the insight that I got is that I was afraid of coming out as a deeply spiritual, intuitive person and coach, but that was the value that I had. If I just said, oh, I'm just a coach and I've been a CEO, I wasn't sharing the deep value of the work that I do, which I can drop down really deep, really quickly, and identify what's going on from your childhood, your past life, and that's an incredible capacity. But if I was hiding that, I didn't feel confident to share with people. And when I got in touch with my inner world, I felt like I was in a closet, in a wardrobe, and it was a dark brown wardrobe that was full of old coats, and it was a bit musty. and it was, not very, it was cozy, it was comfortable, but it felt stale, and it felt like there was no space for other people to come in there. So I went through a process where I saw myself stepping out, with a trembling heart, stepping out of that wardrobe, and what I emerged into was a beautiful temple space that was this big round room, and it was white and it was light, and there was so much space in there, and there was a big throne that I could sit on that was a tree that grounded me into the earth and connected me up to the sky, and in there I could sit in my center and in my space, and there was space that I could invite other people into, and that shifted everything for me. Then I could really own who I was and invite people into that world. So I want to guide you into a short process where you can connect to this for yourself as well. So when you're ready, and coming back to that lovely bringing your energy back inside yourself, deeply into your body, into your heart, into your belly, and just noticing how it feels to be inside your inner world. And see what image comes to mind that represents the inner world where you would like to connect with others. If you were to go to a sacred space, what would that look like? And is it, is your connection with others? Are you in a tiny room? Are you in a big room? Are you in a room where you don't actually want other people to come? Just notice. Are there windows and doors in your room? What part of this room nourishes you and connects you to the most powerful self that you are? So just notice. Notice what it looks like. Notice how big it is. Notice how nourishing it is for you. There might be images. There might be connections with sacred energies or with nature. And just notice, is this space open and welcoming for others? Where do the others come? Or is it defended? Are there any doors or windows that they can come in? Or are they closed? So just really get connected, and whatever you're noticing is okay. Just notice that this might help you to just realize where your inner world is open or needs a little bit more nurturing to invite people into. And also, do you feel safe in there? Is there enough boundaries for you to really show up as the gorgeous, powerful, wise being that you are? So just taking a moment to notice what's going on, see if there's anything that wants to shift, if you want to expand any doors or windows, and knowing that you can come back here at any time. This is your sacred space. This is your inner world. This is the space that you can nurture and create a beautiful, safe space. And note that you can invite just the people that you want to come in here. You don't have to let everybody in. You can let your people in. So also get connected to who you want to invite in and who you don't, because that's up to you. So beautiful. So when you're ready, come back. I would love to hear some comments from you around this as to what you experienced in connecting with your inner world today. What did you notice? Was it protected and small? Was it big and open? Did you create any changes in that inner world? Because I know for me, this was huge. I was able to connect with the space where I felt like I can really be myself in this space, and I can invite in my people. It doesn't have to be everybody. So, many of the people I was working with before as a CEO, they weren't the people who were going to come into this world, but there were many others out there who were very interested. So share in the comments about, what your experience is around this process. And then the third part of our process today is how to share your inner world. And I want to just name here that if you're in this group, if you're a transformational expert, if you're also a deep dive coach or facilitator or practitioner that facilitates transformation, because I know most of you are, you already know how to invite your clients into your inner world. And often you know how to create a very safe space for transformation for them. So I want you to be very connected to that. But then often what I notice is that we don't know how to share that transformation, that inner world transformation that's really rich, because visionaries have such a rich inner world and so much going on. How do we share that with others? So one of the strategies that I've discovered is through sharing your personal stories. And I'll go into this much more deeply next week, into the how to do that. But before I get into this, let me just look at these comments. Caroline is saying, I'm in a tree in the woods. It's a beautiful tree, but it is not easy to find me. I do open the door for the people that knock at the door. That's a beautiful insight, Caroline. So they have to find you. And if they knock on the door, they can come into your world. So that's gorgeous. And then, we can see, what would you like to shift to make that more open? John, I was also in a forest clearing. Great, we've got all the tree lovers today. Just like me. Susan is saying, I have a beautiful, safe tree house. The tree deeply rooted into the earth, grounding me deeply. It's my paradise. And I can let people in through a hatch if they feel good to me. Okay, so that's great. So they have to come in through the hatch. It's a very safe space. That's beautiful. And you can see if they feel good to you. That's absolutely fine. And whatever stage we're at in our business, sometimes we just want, individuals coming to us. Sometimes we want to open up to more. So just notice, you can always come back to your inner world, and if it feels like it's at a good level of openness to you. Rickert, I saw myself in an old Roman theatre wearing a lot of armor. After you said I could choose who to connect with, I invited people and started to dance with them, and my armor fell off. It's gorgeous. That's it. Yes. So if we feel too exposed, our inner visionary does not want to come out. It's our inner visionary is a very sacred voice. It's really beautiful and sensitive, and it does not want to be born naked and trembling into a hostile world. It will resist that. So creating this inner safety of inviting our people, not just everybody, but our people into our world, is really crucial. Marie Cecile, it was a big, beautiful place, close to nature, with big windows open to nature. At the beginning, there was only one door at the back. Then in the process, other doors opened on the side of nature. It was very moving. Oh, that's beautiful. You're really getting it, guys. You're really getting it. Gorgeous. And yes, and John saying, always find calm in a wooded area. That's gorgeous. You can go to your inner world to find that calmness and find that quiet that you need, John. Vlada is saying, I was in the space where I'll give my retreat in June. Wow. I saw there the opening ritual, inviting people in that space. It was surprising for me using these elements. In one corner, I saw the attributes I loved to use in the retreat. It was feeling very familiar. Beautiful, badass. Feels very familiar to you, and you're giving a retreat where you invite people in. Leontine, struggle with that. I've been hiding my feelings, desires, and needs for so long. I've lost touch with that. I get that. That's really, really common. Thank you for naming that. Survival strategy, because I'm afraid of showing myself. I really get that. As though I'm exposing myself and people would see my deficiencies. Yes. Connect with others while being connected with me feels more safe than putting my energy entirely on others. The room I feel safe in looks like a room from the book Where the Wild Things Are. Oh, lovely. I love that book. Without the monsters. I have a wall in my living room that has a wall-to-wall forest wallpaper. Beautiful. So, Leontine, you're getting that insight about if we just try and put our sensitive self out into the world with no protection, it doesn't feel safe. We will shut down. So having this inner safety and inviting the right people in is really crucial for us as well. So beautiful. So the last piece about sharing people into your world. So this is the personal shares and personal stories you can share. And this is about telling real stories of transformation with emotional highs, with emotional lows, with the blow to blows, because I know you guys, you do, we all do. We do so much personal transformation. We're working on ourselves, we're conscious, we're looking at what's being triggered, we're working through it, we're getting the insights. That's what we do with other people. We live and breathe this stuff. But what I see is we don't always know how to share that with others in a way that they really get what we do. They really get that we are living our process, that we are walking our talk. And sharing transformation stories is a really powerful way to invite people deep into your inner world. And you can also do this with client stories. They're also really powerful as well. But the key to this is, one good way is create a list of topics that you cover in your work, whether that's leadership, whether that's visibility, whether that's finding your purpose, whether it's creativity. What is it? What are the topics that you cover in your work? And then just reflect back on which one of those topics has been coming up for you in your life recently, and how did you deal with it? How did you work through it? And then you can always have, or was there a client that you were working with recently where you took them through a process around that deep transformation? And then what you want to do with those ideas for those stories is walk people through blow by blow what happened in a way that you're using really sense-based language. What did it look like? What did it feel like? What were you feeling? What could you see? What could you hear? Using all of the senses to really bring people inside the inner experience, because that's so powerful. We love stories, and that really magnetizes people to us. And in the stories that you're sharing, what I would, and I will go much deeper into this next week, I would really recommend that you only share stories that you have fully processed. So you're sharing a transformation that's fully cooked for you, that's not half-baked, because what you want is people kind of going, wow, thank you so much for sharing the insight, how you were triggered, what you did to get clear, what the insight you was on the other side. And then you can also say, and I help other people do this, and create an invitation from that story. It's super powerful. But, and a great question to use on this is, if I was watching a movie of you when you were going through this process, what would I see? Let me just share an example with you here. So here's an example that I'll share with you of this real concrete language. I was in my dressing gown on my sofa with the box of tissues sobbing my heart out all day. I felt like my dream of creating my own transformational business was slipping through my fingers. How could the universe give me this dream and then let me fail? And that's a small piece of a real story. But what you're seeing in there, I was showing you what I was wearing, where I was sitting, how I was feeling. And then, you know, it's walking through that story of transformation in a way that's really sense-based. This is a super powerful one, and I'm going to spend a whole session on it next week. But let me know if you have any questions or comments on this, you know, sharing your world through sharing personal stories, and if you've got any questions about that, because I will dive deep into them next week. So, and let me know if that's helpful for you, and I will share some examples of stories that I've written over the next week, and then we'll dive in more deeply in our next session. So that's everything for today. It was really great to connect with you, and I want to really just invite you, if you would love to have a chat with me to get some clarity on what's going on for you around visibility, hop on a call. I do visibility breakthrough sessions. They're free. There are no pressure, and I will help you get clear on the big block that's going on for you at the moment, if there is one, or the shift that you can make, and also, you know, some steps, some tips as to going forward. And if you want to know more about what I do, I've got a retreat coming up in June. I do coaching. I love working with my coaching clients, and I'm also in the process of designing and creating a group program that I'm going to launch later this year. So I'd also love to chat to you about that, if that's something you might be interested in, to have a chat. So come on in and have a chat with me if that's something you feel called to do, and let me know how you resonate with this, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good week. Bye for now.